Hi, it's Joe,
Hi, it's Janet.
and this is our third anniversary show of
Woohoo!
the 60 Plus podcast with Janet and Joe.
156 episodes.
It's hard to believe. We're very excited about it, but we wanted to bring some new listeners along that may not have gone back all the way in the library. And so we're going to replay episode 1.
Yes, our launch episode, which really talks about why we started this in the first place. And we had a mission, and we're on a mission, and we're still continuing our mission. So hopefully you'll get a chance to go back to our past and follow us along and share it. And we are celebrating.
Regular
Woo-hoo!
listeners can see if we've kept true to our goals. New listeners can hear why we started the podcast, how we met, and decided to have
right.
a podcast.
Yeah, of course, there's pickleball involved.
Pickleball. So
Enjoy this episode again if you were with us from the beginning, and if not, you'll hopefully enjoy our initial start.
back in 2023. Hard to believe.
My gosh.
Hard to believe.
Yes.
We've learned so much. We've covered so many topics. If you're a new listener, like, subscribe, share, tell friends.
Yes.
It really, really does help.
And you know what, Joe? We never missed a week.
Not a week. We've put out 100. This will be the 156th episode, and we haven't missed a week, despite illnesses and traveling and all kinds of personal stuff.
Yes, oh yes. So pop the champagne and have a listen. Bye.
This was episode 1 of the 60 Plus podcast with Janet and Joe. This is the 60 Plus podcast. I'm Joe.
And I'm Janet.
And we are having our first podcast on 60 Plus. It's about being 60 plus, and it was Janet's idea. So, Janet,
Was it really? I don't know. I don't know if I could
was.
take full credit for it. I think I have to give credit to Mezcal, actually.
Well, there may have been some mezcal involved.
Yeah. So, why are we doing this? I told a few people, like, hey, I'm doing this podcast. The big question is, why? What is this about? I have to say, I haven't really admitted that I'm 60 plus until this moment. And I am now
Even
formally,
to yourself?
Even to myself, I've been in complete denial. And now I'm going public with it. And, instead of trying to hide, from the fact, I'm going to embrace these years because they're going to be good ones.
They're going to be good ones, and we only have so many left, right?
Oh, please. I don't even want to think about that.
Oh, you don't think about it?
I think you start, you stop counting in years and you start counting in days at some point,
Oh, no. I'm not there yet. We kind of talked a little bit earlier about what this episode was going to be about. This is episode 1. I think we talked about some stereotypes.
Yeah, we did. And, I think that I do want to talk about that, but I want to start with this sort of positive view of being 60 plus because, I've been kind of hiding from it. Somebody will ask me, well, how old are you? And
Who asks you that?
Well, like guys in bars, like, why is that the first question when you're out? Like, how old are you? I'm like, hi, my name's Janet. Why is that important? Is that going to change if you're interested in me or not? So usually I say, how old do you think I am? And I just hope and pray it's younger than I actually am.
So what do they usually say?
Well, I've had as low as 45.
Wow,
but
good for you.
Of course, the lighting in the bar was very dim, very dark, which is good. Lighting is very beneficial.
Lighting is beneficial, but I think it also depends upon how old the person that's asking the question is, because I remember it's got to be a good 16, 17 years ago, and I was starting a new job. I was buying some clothes at Kohl's. I go to the cashier, and the cashier, young lady, said, will you be using your senior discount today? And I said no, and good thing this is not a tipping situation. When you're younger,
Everybody's old.
Everybody's old, right?
Yeah, it's all relative, for sure.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, to an 80-year-old, 60 plus is in your prime.
You're a kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, and that's kind of how I feel most of the time. My body, on the other hand, has a few other thoughts for me. I'm basically ignoring that too.
Sometimes it's hard to ignore.
Especially in the morning.
Oh, the morning is
When
the
you
worst.
wake up
When
and
you
you're like, you try to get out of bed and you just did something that you shouldn't have done at your age.
What, get out of bed?
Yeah. Especially at like 5 in the morning. Let's not even talk about that.
Well, let's talk about sleep. Right?
Yeah.
I have no trouble. But I have many friends who really have difficulty sleeping.
Well, so you're not a female. I mean, think about
I'm
all
not.
the women.
I'm not.
Think about all the women like going through menopause. Like that's one of the really hard things that you go through. Like you're up at 2:30 in the morning every day and you can't sleep for like hours. And
Why is
your
that?
hair feels like it's set on fire, and and then the next.
I wish I had hair to feel like it was set on fire, or more hair anyway.
Sleep is it's a really important thing. I mean, we talk about aging, right, and staying healthy, and sleep is that critical factor. We all need more. But I blame my 17-year-old dog for waking me up at 5 in the morning. Now, see, she's a good example of living life to its fullest. Right?
How old is she in dog years? I can't do the math
like
in my head.
Well over 100. You'll multiply it by 7. That's old.
I'm gonna do my calculator.
But she sleeps a lot, and that's how she keeps it together.
119.
And she always gets excited about her treats. Like that's what we have to stay positive. So I am flipping the script on this. Oh my God, I just turned 60. Oh, I don't want anybody to know. I'm like, yes, I am 60 and I am proud of it. And these are starting amazing years, right? There are good things about being 60 plus, right, Joe? Do you know anything good about being 60 plus?
Well, you get the senior discount.
Right.
Right? Have you used any senior discounts?
Well, I had to say at the golf course. Yep. I'm golfing now. That's what 60 plus people do, right? And
how do you feel after 18 holes?
I don't do 18. So I feel great because I'm only, 9 and done.
Okay.
So that's good. Yeah. Golf is not my favorite thing to do.
The movies are cheaper.
The movies are cheaper. I've asked this question to a few people, and some people have said, you just don't care anymore. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say what I want. And, life is good. I really am supportive of that, especially do what you want. I'm at that point now where I'm like, what am I waiting for?
So do you have a bucket list?
To do a podcast.
Okay. All right. We'll put a pencil check mark next to that bucket list item.
Right. Hopefully not just one.
Right. Well, we've got to get a few episodes in before you can make it pen, right?
Right, exactly. But, this idea of busting stereotypes, I love this. And I think that that's a main thing about what we want to do on this podcast is, whether that's guest speakers or what. I would get Martha Stewart, who was just on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Right? Get her to sign up.
Looked pretty good, too.
Yeah, right? Pilates.
Although, I think they overdid the makeup a bit. It didn't really look like her.
Yeah, well, makeup is your friend.
Other benefits of being 60 plus. You said you can say what you want, right?
Well, yeah.
Well, within limits. Within limits. But more so than when you were 40.
Yeah. I think you learn boundaries, too. In theory, you should learn early on.
You don't know boundaries.
Me? Oh, yeah. I'm still working on it. I don't know. I think that there are a lot of good things. I think you become freer in a way to do more of what you've always wanted to do, creative, outlets. I think creativity is enhanced. I don't know why, but I really do believe that. So there are some good things. And I think that we are going to bust these myths. We're going to talk about these good things. We're going to try to be inspirational on this podcast and really make 60 plus the best time of your life.
So when was the first time you felt old?
Ooh.
I have two things.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever felt really old.
Oh, I should say older.
I think it's more other people's reaction, or you go somewhere and you realize you're the oldest person, or, now when you go to holiday events, you're like, oh, wow, I'm the older generation now. And so it's that outside in perspective that makes you feel old rather than the inside out. You know, I still feel really, really young.
In my mind, I'm still 35.
Right.
Except for in the morning when you get up and the knees don't do
Right.
quite what they're supposed to do.
Sometimes I'm still too, you know?
The first time I felt older, I was pulled over by a police officer for going a little faster than I should. And the cop came up to the car and I looked and I said, "You're not old enough to be a cop. It's just not." The second time was when I got that first AARP envelope in the mail.
Oh, that just made me mad.
Right?
I just ripped that puppy right up. It went right in the garbage. I'm like, what are you sending this to me for? This is not right.
So it's the American Association of Retired Persons or People.
Yeah.
I wasn't retired.
I know, right.
No. All right, so what are some of the other stereotypes? It's not a stereotype, but it's something that seems to have come in vogue over the last couple of years. And it's younger people saying, "Okay, boomer."
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I don't know. And it's like, define a boomer for me. So I actually had this conversation with some Gen Z peeps.
What's Gen Z?
Gen Z is like age, 15 to 25, around there. So they're young, which means, relatively speaking, we're super, super old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, what defines a boomer? And they're like, they read newspapers. I'm like, what?
Well, I think some of the Gen Z could afford to read a newspaper or two.
Yeah, right?
Gen Z, 15 to 25, that's a very broad. 15 years old, you're a freshman or a sophomore in high school.
Right.
And 25, you're out of college, maybe into graduate school, maybe married. My kids' friends are married. Yeah. One of them has a kid.
Yeah.
So that's a big range.
That's the problem with demographics, right? And that's the problem with lumping everybody into this boomer demographic. Like, what does that mean exactly? And that's why we need to redefine that.
All right, so how are we going to do that? How are we going to bust through these stereotypes?
Well, I think leading by example, number one. Can't keep us down. We are not stopping. And I get back to doing all those things that you said you wanted to do for so many years and never did. And now's the time.
Okay. Do you have friends that are retired?
I have friends that are retired. I have a very wide scope of friends, I have to say, from age standpoint.
Okay, but friends around your age.
Yeah, definitely. I also have friends that have retired and then have gone back to work, in a completely different mode. So redefining who you are and what you do this is a great point in time to do that. Your kids are probably out of the house, hopefully. You have time.
Let's put a pin in that for a second. There's a real sizable part of the population that the kids aren't out of the house. And the kids are well into their 20s and into their 30s. And there's that whole, stereotype of living in mom's basement. What do you think about that? I couldn't wait to get out of the house.
Yeah, I think it's just a different, world that we live in. And for practical matters, sometimes you can't get out of the house and as much as you'd like to. But from the perspective of the parent, does that keep you focused on your child when you could, in theory, say this is a time of your life where you can start to turn more inward? And what is it that you want? And spend more time and energy focusing on that.
So we have friends that are retired. We have friends that have grandkids. I have a daughter that's going to get married this year, and it's got me to start thinking about grandkids. I don't know if I can get my mind around that. Because I'm still 35 in my head.
Right, exactly. And I'm still, I'm really thinking about that. My daughter's about to get married. I think your daughter's about to get married too. And, she has kind of intimated that she's only going to wait a little while and she's going to start thinking about having children. And I'm like, well, that means I had to start thinking about being a grandparent. Well, I want to be number one babysitter, so I'm really going to embrace this. And somebody asked me, well, how do you feel about somebody calling you grandma? And I'm like, I think it's amazing. I think it's great. And we are going to have so much fun because I'm not going to be the
fun grandma. You're gonna be my grandparents, I loved my grandparents. And I was looking at it through the lens of a much younger person. But they were older than I was. They were they weren't older in age, but they were older in their personality. They were older in the way they dressed. They were old in every respect that I can think of.
Absolutely.
They were much older.
I just have an image of my grandmother in a spinny chair with her knitting needles, and we used to play pinochle, right? That was so I don't see that as my grandmahood. These kids are going to get run around. I'm going to exhaust them is what I'm going to do.
You think. You think. So what else? What other stereotypes are we going to bust through on the podcast?
So I had another friend tell me that they live in the city, actually, and they feel invisible. There's like this moment that happens when they become invisible. They're retired. They're walking down the street. Nobody sees you. They think it's about a 50-50 run. They live in Boston, right? There's got a lot of young people. And half of them will actually say hello or at least nod to you. And the other half just kind of walk right by and like you don't exist. And that's a feeling that comes. Whether that's real, fact, or fiction, I don't know. But
it could just be a perception.
Right.
So that might be somebody internalizing their age and saying, I'm not seen anymore.
Right.
Because they're looking at younger people differently than they did when they were younger.
Possibly, yeah. So I think a lot of this is a matter of perspective, which is why I kind of want to flip everything on its head. Getting old is an honor in a way, right? Having that every day, to look forward to. It's a beautiful day today. And just being excited about all the possibilities that every day can bring. And I know that sort of sounds kind of crunchy granola, but it is a gift. And so no whining, no complaining. Let's just get on with it. Don't hesitate. Let's just go, go, go. Do what you want to do with the rest of your life that you have, because it can be taken away.
It can be. It can be. All right. So what are some other benefits of being 60 plus?
The bucket list. We talked a little briefly about that, right? You get to make a bucket list.
Okay.
Now, whether or not you do it, that's another subject. What are the perceived barriers that we throw upon ourselves because we're 60 plus? And how can we bust through them? So it's not just the stereotypes that other people throw on us, but it's the stereotypes we throw on ourselves.
Some other things that I think that we want to cover in the podcast in future episodes: health issues.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And health insurance.
Finances. Finances become very important.
How do you plan for retirement, for the retirement that you want?
Relationships change as you get older.
Oh, boy.
My relationships with my kids is very different than it was 5-10 years ago. They're adults now. They're on their own. They live away. Some people are divorced. Some people are still married. Some people are widowed.
Of people are divorced, statistically speaking.
Yep. At some point,
dating. Are dating for the first time.
Yeah.
Going online to date for the first time.
That is a different
We could probably
thing.
do 20 episodes just on that.
Because back when I was dating, I don't want to say how many years ago, but it was in the decades.
Many moons ago.
There was no internet, so there was no online dating.
No, maybe that was a good thing. I don't know.
I don't know. I think on balance, it's a good thing. But all those things are things that we're going to cover in the future. What else? What else would you like to cover going forward?
Well, I really would like to continue to hear from everybody in this, age group, not just us talking about what we've experienced, but everybody that we know. Like, can we have call-ins? I don't know. Should we have guests? Definitely. And I'd love to have people on here who have broken through the mold and are doing things that are incredible for the first time in their lives. So 60 plus to me is a beginning, not an end.
It's a good way to look at it. If people have ideas for what they'd like to see us cover in the show, they can send an email to us. We just have a temporary email address right now. It's 60pluspodcast@gmail.com. So it's 60, and then everything else is spelled out, 60pluspodcast@gmail.com. And people can send us an email with some ideas for what they'd like to see covered in the show. Keep it civil. Keep it nice. Don't make fun. This is a new thing for us too. And
we're going out on a limb here.
We are. Was this a bucket list item for you?
Yeah, I think that I don't know. Every day is something new.
Good, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. If you're doing the same thing day in, day out, my gosh.
I mean, I just started teaching a dance class, for example. That was something I've always danced for quite a few years, and finally I was like, there's no good place to dance around here. I'm just going to start teaching. So it's never too late.
What are the ages of the people in your dance class?
Oh, gosh, 19 to 60 plus.
Really? How do the 19-year-olds interact with the 60-plus people?
It's been great, really great, because the thing about dance is it is a leveler. It does take everything off the table, and you're just dancing together. And plus, the dance that I do is, it's a little bit of hip-hop, it's a little bit of Latin.
Hip-hop, what's that?
Hip-hop, It's fun, and everybody can enjoy it. So it's a leveler, for sure.
All right. Is there anything else you want to mention before you wrap up? Do you want to touch on any other subjects? Because this is our inaugural podcast. We just kind of wanted to riff a little bit about what the podcast is going to be about and some of the stereotypes that we encounter. And you've got some notes in front of you.
Yeah, I do have a few notes.
Is that
well,
because
hitting
you couldn't
the trends,
remember anything?
Like, we're busting stereotypes, but we also want to talk about like what's trending. The 60 plus. Like pickleball.
Pickleball. That's how Janet and I actually met. Was playing
That's
pickleball.
Right, pickleball. And how fun is that?
Well, so I have friends that play pickleball, and I have other friends that make fun of us for playing pickleball. But I read the other day that the average age of pickleball players is under 35.
See?
And
fact or fiction?
I think people that make fun of pickleball don't understand it, and they've never played.
They've never tried.
And they don't realize that it actually is exercise.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Especially if you're playing, competitively, right? Not that we're competitive, but at our level. But
it depends who we're playing with.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a few people who get a little hardcore on the court.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we also have very lovely, lovely people playing and side out so politely.
All right, so pickleball. Any other subjects or things you want to mention before we wrap up?
I don't know, Joe. What do you think?
I think that there's lots of ground to cover. I told you before we started recording that I looked for another podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts, all kinds. And I looked for another podcast that might cover some of the same subjects. And there were some that would cover like a narrow bucket of what we plan to cover, but that's it. So they might be just health issues.
Right.
But we want to be more of a
general
broad spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have a category for this, right? There's no category here.
We have to when you create a podcast inside baseball a little bit. When you create a podcast, you have to assign a category to it. And there really wasn't even a good category.
No, I wanted to go comedy, but it wasn't, it wasn't really
but we're not
comedy.
That funny.
And, we wanted to go health because we want to talk about being healthy, mind, body, spirit type of thing. That doesn't really completely describe what we're doing. So we went society and culture.
Yeah.
Right? I guess the best we could do.
All right. They were probably millennials that created the categories.
Oh, that's a subject we didn't talk about. We want to trash millennials. Is that
Sure. All right, let's do that.
Only the ones that call us boomers.
Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. And I've had people say that to me a couple of times, and it comes from such a cocky, arrogant place that they think they understand what they're saying.
Right.
And they don't. And they don't understand what I'm saying. They don't understand the experience and knowledge that I have and why I might be doing or saying something that they don't fully grasp.
Right. Yeah, there is like a sort of entitled view of, okay, pat you on your head, I've got this. Because I'm a millennial, I can behave that way. I was just talking to somebody about this. They took a job and the younger people that they work with are like, don't worry, we'll do that. Like they're not capable. Like how insulting is that?
It takes a lot to insult me. My skin has gotten so much thicker over the years.
That's another good thing about getting older.
Oh, yeah. No.
Thicker skin, right?
Thicker
You
skin.
don't take things personally.
I don't take things personally. People say things and, oh, I'm sorry. You know, it's just like,
What?
Don't-
You got bigger things to worry
exactly,
about.
like my knees.
Getting out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. All right, so I think we've kind of laid the groundwork for what we have coming in the future. I think we plan to do this on a weekly basis.
Yes, we can try that.
And if you have an idea for what you would like us to cover, or you come across an article or a YouTube video, or
you want to be a guest.
you want to be a guest, you can send an email to 60pluspodcast@gmail.com. That's 60plus, all spelled out, podcast@gmail.com. And this is 60 Plus with Janet and Joe. Janet, did you have fun?
I did have fun, and that's the most important part of this.
All right.
Having fun.
All right. That's it for this episode of 60 Plus with Janet and Joe. And we'll talk to you real soon.
Bye.